You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Welcome back. It's the Code Rad Show. Hello, Jim.
Hello, Jason. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Good to see you. Happy
Good
to
to see
be
you
here
too.
on YouTube on this lovely Thursday evening.
Yes,
First,
indeed.
going to take care of necessary business. Here is the Code Rad Publishing Empire, our current offerings. Interplanet, available on Fund My Comic. And Tales of Conspiracy and Madness, a collection of short stories of cosmic horror in the H.P. Lovecraft vein. If that sounds like something you might be into, give it a look. It's available on Amazon. Comes right up when you enter Tales of Conspiracy and Madness into the search bar. I don't think there's too many similar titles out there. All right. Appreciate your taking a look at that. And so let's get into our episode. We are going to talk about comic books tonight.
Indeed.
I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to offer, Jim. So why don't we get started with you?
Sure. So this again is Bizzaro, from that Bizzaro World book.
Very cool.
Yes,
enjoyed the last one. Different take on Aquaman as a bohemian poet or something like that.
Yes, indeed. Yes, Bohemian song struggling or starving artist.
Yes.
Everybody's asking him, "Hey, do you know Batman?" This time we're going to focus on the Justice League.
Cool.
There's a lot of famous teams in comics. There's a team. There's the X-Men, which superheroes.
All right, not getting a lot of that. Your audio is kind of breaking up. We're having some internet issues up here in the Philadelphia area this evening.
Jersey, yeah.
Oh, that looks cool.
Okay, so here.
All right, if I start talking over you, that means that your sound is out. So we see a very cool looking space station, looks like.
Exactly, yes, it's the Watchtower. Or part of it anyway.
Is that the Justice League's space station?
Yes, it.
All right, I don't think I knew it was called the Watchtower. All right, and I see a bunch of names that are not familiar to me.
Yeah, same. That was a good story. So, all is quiet.
All right,
but elsewhere, click it.
A lot of sound effects in this.
Run.
Yeah.
So they're apparently at a carnival today. They're riding the Star Chaser.
Oh, okay. I can kind of see the next page. Looks like a I can see that's a roller coaster now.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So let's see. Later.
All right, Dino Putt. That sounds fun. A fan of mini golf.
And then later still. Later.
Oh, nice.
That is a pretty cool looking pinball machine.
That's awesome. Yeah.
You see SUP on the scoreboard and then BA2 over here.
Yeah.
Batman is winning again. Meanwhile, this guy here with the Elvis glasses, I gotta say, get good images for this story, but just had to do my best. But I couldn't find this.
No, it looks fine.
No, thanks. Meanwhile, later,
Nah.
we should all just hang out more.
Nah.
And that's pretty much it for that. That's only the opener. So it's probably good. I did 2 stories. I'm doing 2 stories
Nah.
tonight. So
This kind of reminds me of something I find hilarious that Grant Morrison said once. I think it was in an interview, although it might have been in his book. I highly recommend his book, Super Gods.
okay.
Very enjoyable history of the comic book industry, and also a bit of a autobiography. I really like that book. I should give it another read. But Grant Morrison says, I prefer DC characters to Marvel, probably because, Marvel characters are always fighting. I mean, that's kind of like a staple of Marvel comics. Heroes fight each other
Yes.
frequently for whatever reason. And he says, but, DC superheroes, they feel like if they met, they would all have a picnic together, which I think this story kind of exemplifies that sort of vibe.
I'm wondering if it's kind of like based off of Coney Island. I'm wondering.
I think I caught one of the slides that something like Rocky Point, which
Yeah, it's right at on the coaster.
yeah
I guess
made me
probably
think
Randy.
of Point Pleasant, which I mean, there's a million places called Point something or other, but
Let's see. It's going all over the place. Let's just try and get back to. There we go. Okay. Sorry, it's going a little crazy.
yeah. I think that's probably just because of the internet not working great.
There we go. Rocky Point Beach, USA.
Huh. Yeah. I wonder. Yeah, that looks like a Coney Island coaster. Like, what is there a famous one there called the Comet? The real old one, maybe.
There's a cyclone.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I'm
The
probably
big
thinking
one,
of
yeah.
Cyclone. Yeah, I think it's Cyclone. Yeah, the old
But
wooden one.
have you been there? I've never been. Have you been there?
I went once with my friends in the '80s. It was
Okay.
interesting. I mean, obviously, it was well past Coney Island's heyday, and it was not a great place. I mean, I think compared to a place on the Jersey Shore, it would have been better. I mean, just about any place. But I'm glad that we did go there and got to see some stuff that I'm pretty sure is not there. We saw
Okay.
old school sideshows, freak show. I
Oh
think it was like
wow.
a weekday afternoon, and we saw a guy called the Human Blockhead, who would he would do a thing like he'd take a big nail and like hammer it into his nostril, like this, putting it in his fist and going like that, and stuff like that. They're like, oh, if you pay us an extra $2, we can show you a two-headed freak. And you're like, oh, well, I got to see this. And then they
Sold.
yeah, of course. But then they pull out a jar of like a two-headed pig fetus and
Oh, okay.
formaldehyde. So it's like, yeah. But it was great because I really doubt that kind of stuff is still there. And I did get to see it. So
That's awesome. I'm jealous. I would
it
pay two
was
dollars to see a three-head freak. Sure. Who
pretty,
wouldn't?
yeah. Pretty good memories of that day. It was interesting.
I do want to go there at some point, but I've never been. That's part of Brooklyn, right?
I believe, yeah, it's Brooklyn. And I mean, I know it got hit hard by one of these hurricanes in the last 20 years. I forget which one. And
Yeah.
I suspect, any of the old traditional idiosyncrasies that were left probably just got totally paved over. I think, they really brought in the developers and everything. And I don't know. I suspect that most of the old character is gone, but
It
don't
might
know.
be. Yeah.
Yeah,
It might be. Probably Sandy. Probably the one that did it in. Shame.
probably. Yeah.
Fast forward a little bit. We have another crisis in the Justice League. Oh no. Hey, stop that. Okay, good. That's better.
Ultimate Crisis. All right.
Yes, the Ultimate Crisis. It is the best of times. It is the worst of times. On one hand, Justice League have done their job. Crime no longer exists, and the streets are clean, safe, and orderly.
Nice.
Help me cross the street, ma'am. Why, thank you, young man. Let's see. Supervillains are all locked up behind bars. No one can stand up to the combined of the Justice League. A group of aliens, mutants, mythological figures, and do-gooders. This is the joke.
All right. Yeah, your voice is kind of you were doing really well for a minute there. Now your voice is kind of cutting out. But it's nice to see the Joker and Lex Luthor have a very positive attitude about their incarceration.
So let's see. On the other hand, with all the supervillains in jail, there simply isn't much for Justice League to do.
What exactly are Green Lantern and Aquaman doing there?
I guess cards in a hat, I guess.
Yeah, just trying to throw playing cards into a hat. Okay, I can see that as a pastime.
They're just like bored. Superman's working on a catchphrase. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a cloud, it's a zeppelin, it's a helicopter, it's Batman works on his theme song. No, it's something catchy. A good driving song that the Beatles thing, Wonder Woman spends on $1 million. That's for we're talking about an invisible plane.
Yeah. Good point.
Let's see. John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, is left in charge to do. Basically, they're leaving to do the menial tasks like caring for crypto.
Sorry. Oh man, that's that's not right. Why? Because he's Martian.
On taking care of the league's bank accounts. Sorry, Mars boy.
Oh man, I never realized the universe was this level of bias against Martians.
Exactly. Yes. They haven't taken out the trash.
Oh man.
The fact is, Manhunter gets no respect. Ooh, look, Green Arrow has an arrow with a boxing glove on the end. Carrying like a several-ton tank, and they're all like mesmerized, but he's got a boxing glove arrow. He is cursed with a backstory similar to Superman's, but without the benefit of novelty or good looks. So you're the last survivor, you're the last surviving member of your race. Hey, that's truly fascinating. Next, we have a man who trains gophers to fetch golf balls.
Yeah. You know, I never thought about John Johns that much. I just realized, I don't think I've seen any other Martians, and I was not aware that he is the last Martian. They're all other ones are dead.
I think there's one other. There's Miss Martian. I think so. I think the only two left. I think, but for years only the last surviving Martian.
Huh. I was not aware of that.
Yeah. Let's see. With no true supervillains left, a new breed of petty supervillains rises up to take their places. Okay. By secondhand,
all right, secondhand smoke man.
I love these guys. The nefarious band of jaywalkers. Of another handful of workers, thus somewhat damaging and unmeasurable way special product. Should put them in the next movie.
Yeah.
Workers. Let's see. Or the Toyer spoiler. And it turns out Bruce Willis is I just lost major movie company 6 video rentals. Who else do we have here? We have the confounding contrarian, Mwahaha, my article calling for extermination of whales will throw the liberal media into a tailspin. Diabolical. And if the devaluation of supervillains wasn't enough, there is also the devaluation of superheroism, such as everyone is appearing the word or adding the word superhero or super to their names. Yeah, that's right. I'm super hot dog vendor. You want onions with that? And then we have the whole concept of superness is degraded. I'm super, and you can be super too. 171. Being super becomes little more than a fashion statement. Check out the fish scale tights. So gorgeous. I like fish scale tights.
Yeah.
Still, still working on his case. It's a blimp. It's an egret. It's a pelican. Let's see. I hereby declare the official sportswear outlet of the Justice League. Oh God! It looked like they dragged him up. Looks like they dragged up to the wealth of this place. I'm never again.
Yeah, superheroes doing store openings.
Yes, exactly. It's like
awesome.
By Hrothgod's hammer, these prices are out of this world. See, he's really fed up now. He can't take anymore. This poor guy. It's become a joke, and only I can save its reputation. It's a seagull. It's an albatross. It's a what? What's the meaning of this interrupting me? And I'm trying to write my catchphrase. This is delicate work. Now I have to start all over. Look up this balloon. It's a flamingo.
Yeah.
You've mismanaged the affairs of the Justice League. We're the laughing stock of the city. You're our leader, and you got to do something now. By gum, you're right. Call a meeting of all members. Jean has brought up an important issue to my attention. Our success as the Justice League has paradoxically brought dishonor to this August crime-fighting organization. Therefore, I have come to the decision to disband.
Oh, no.
Disband? But why? I don't want to bring this up before, but the fact is, I don't need any of you. I could do this. I only included you out of misguided sense of pity. I mean, come on. I'm an alien with godlike powers. I need a guy dressed up as a bat. And please, Flash, guess what? I let you win that race.
Oh, no.
So,
Superman. Wow.
And now this annoying Phoebe Martian Hunter won't stop pestering me and complaining. I have no choice to break up the group. I need all of your stuff out of here by the 30th so I can get my security deposit back. Thanks a lot, Dillweed. Smooth move, Ratface. Now he's really mad. It's like, you're all against me. You've always had it in for me. I hate you all.
Yeah, I guess so. I think he's right.
So he gets back at them one by one. He disguises himself as a member of the Ornithological Society of America, I guess, or something. Perhaps a quick trip to our visit section will determine once and all if you are a hawk or if you're a man. No! Posing as a juvenile delinquent, he snatches away Batman's cowl in broad daylight. Hey, look, everybody. Good Lord, it's millionaire Bruce Wayne. A millionaire dressed like a bat? I'm calling the insane asylum. Posing unscrupulous pawnbroker, he cheats the Green Lantern of his all-powerful ring. This thing, cheap glass, some kind of alloy. Face it, pal. Without a battery, you're just a guy with a ring. Posing as a mechanic, he does a poor job of repairing Wonder Woman's visible plane.
Oh no!
Boom! Suffering Sappho, sparking the essential fusion. Finally, posing as a hunter, he mistakes Superman for a deer and shoots him with a kryptonite bullet. Look, a 10-pointer. Arg! I breathed my last. He's just randomly sitting in the woods on a stool somewhere.
Right.
Ha ha ha! Finally, victory is mine. No longer will the last of Krypton take the Martian Manhunter for granted. Don't save your victory quite yet, John. Well, you're not dead? And who are you? I am Dr. Julius Osgood, and you have just greatly benefited the cause of mental health. You see, I'm promoting my book, being push too far when good people go bad, and the Justice League was nice enough to help out with a test case. All that you've been experiencing has been staged by us with the actor and robots to help illustrate my theories of rage transference. My book will help millions understand the feelings of their anger and impotence and who helps them. So you don't really hate me? Hate you're one of us. Don't get all blubbering us now as Green Arrow puts a kick me sign on him. So that's what I got.
All right. Yeah, love the plot twist. Yeah, solid. Yeah, definitely a solid story. Reminds me a little bit of Normal Man. Do you remember that comic book from the 80s?
I do. I never read it, but I do remember it. I've never read an issue. But was that Dark Horse? Who was that?
It may have been Dark Horse, but I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't read too much of it. It was mainly just the idea of it was funny. That it was like a planet Levram, Marvel spelled backwards.
Of course.
And Normal Man is the only person on the whole planet that doesn't have superpowers. But
okay.
Yeah.
Saren's got powers with him. Okay, all right.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, satirical about how, there are just so many superheroes in Marvel that eventually there'd just be, just everyone is a superhero in the whole planet and just one
except one guy.
Yeah. All right. So, I meant to show something in the beginning and I forgot.
What's this?
So, remember by Interplanet and Tales of Conspiracy and Madness. And what, did I mess up or something? I must have put the wrong thing up. I had a slide. Let me see. Maybe here, if I have it up in a different tab. So let me see if I could show it real quick because share screen. So there we go. Can we see that? I wanted to. I'm glad you did a traditional. Your story was not really traditional, but the characters were, and so I really taken aback. I mean, not really taken aback. The guy was 95 years old, but sad to hear about the death of Gene Hackman. In my opinion, when I rewatched Superman about 5 years ago, I was really floored by his performance. I think, and since then, I've always considered his Lex Luthor best performance in a comic book movie. Just great. I mean, you listen and his dialogue sounds like it could have come straight out of a Golden Age comic book. Really corny, over the top, just super villain kind of stuff. But he chose to deliver it in a straight manner. He didn't go, he didn't ham it up or anything. And just, I think, an extraordinary performance. I mean, I think so many actors would have just, really taken it, played it for laughs or whatever. I mean, I think of, like Jack Nicholson as the Joker. But Hackman went to totally opposite direction, and he's just a great. He's a great actor in anything. He's done a lot of westerns, which I enjoy. Unforgiven, of course, is an all-time classic. Yes. And so I figure, So we're talking about comic books today, so I wanted to mention that, and then I've also got let me see, a picture of Steve Buscemi. I am showing that because whenever you hear about the Innsmouth Look, which The Shadow over Innsmouth is a story by H.P. Lovecraft, hugely influential, a very entertaining story for an author, H.P. Lovecraft, who is known for his description and kind of, Shadow over Innsmouth has like an incredible action sequence, which is not something you consider, when you're thinking of H.P. Lovecraft. Great story. of course, if you've seen A Creature from the Black Lagoon, great example of a something influenced by Shadow over Innsmouth. Just a story about these humanoid amphibian creatures who inhabit a town in New England, and that is what Alan Moore chose to center issue 3 of Providence around. So this we've on previous episodes we've discussed issues 1 and 2. So I thought I would return to that. As I mentioned before, my book, Tales of Conspiracy and Madness, is Lovecraftian. Even involves some, I include some characters from H.P. Lovecraft. So I want to do as much discussion about H.P. Lovecraft here on Code Rad as possible. So here we start off with a great picture of a typical New England town, very evocative, nice picture. And so we enter this. Issue 3 is, I would say, our first is a bottle issue of Providence. You know how they say, like, TV shows do a bottle episode? Doctor Who is famous for this, where you give the main actors a rest and you do something that's low budget, maybe something that all takes place in one room. I consider this like a bottle issue of Providence, because I guess my thinking is that there are a couple of prequels to this, to Providence. And one of them, I believe it was called Neonomicon, involves the deep ones, the characters from Shadow over Innsmouth. It's a big, it's a story totally involved with these amphibian humanoids, and so I figure he kind of shot his shot with that, and so he wanted to include the deep ones in Providence, but he kind of I'll explain it as we go. Is
sure
kind of they don't feature that much in this. And so here is like the inside cover of Providence, which I wanted to show, because here they have the picture of it is the town of Providence, and up here near the top you see Swan Point Cemetery, which you and I went to. We went to Necronomicon, and I realized you could walk from downtown Providence to the cemetery where H.P. Lovecraft is buried. And so that is a thing for fans of cosmic horror, weird fiction, etc. All right, and so I'm already talking way too much. I barely even talked about the story. All right, for some reason, the story opens up with a real-life event, the Actors' Equity Strike of forget the year. Not seeing too much thematically related to the story. Maybe it was just a cool event that happened to kind of ground the storyline in reality. If there's a great website that is like sort of the annotated Providence. I think it's called like Facts in Alan Moore's Providence, something like that. I should link to it, but he provides a lot of analysis and references about Providence there. And there's a photograph that looks almost exactly like this, of this Actors' Equity Strike. And so our main character, Robert Black, is caught up in it, getting on a train to go to have his next encounter with New England paranormal. So here he comes to a hotel called the Hillman Hotel. So the hotel in Shadow over Innsmouth is called Gilman, which is kind of like an obvious joke for H.P. Lovecraft. You don't, that kind of humor is not something you really think about, but Gilman is pretty obvious. And of course, people call the character from Creature from the Black Lagoon the Gilman.
Yes.
So here we are at the Hillman, and there we see a classic example of the Innsmouth look. So the idea is a town, a ramshackle town. It's falling apart. It smells like low tide, and it's, inhabited by people that look like this, these amphibian, bug-eyed, weird people.
Yeah. Yikes.
So Robert Black gets shown to his hotel room and decides to go out for a look. Church of St. Jude. There's all sorts of occult and paranormal stuff. He's been told to come here to Boggs Refinery, which this is an interesting little scene. And I really don't know what exactly is going on here. He meets these guys, and you could see the Innsmouth look in.
Whoa.
Yeah.
There's more of them.
These guys definitely have it, except for the guy on the right, who I think maybe is not meant to have it. But then you've got this weird thing. There's these little vials, these little bottles on the tray there, and there's word bubbles coming out of them. This is not revisited in the issue. I can't think of any specific thing this relates to in H.P. Lovecraft, and especially Shadow over Innsmouth. I've read that story several times, so I'm not sure what he was going for with this. But it is kind of cool. You just have this weird thing, these weird amphibian men with these bottles that have something trapped in it or hanging in it, and they're talking. So Robert Black talks to these guys, and now here's a little bit of controversy. This one guy who looks kind of human says, "Right, tickled to meet you, mister." New England accent, which I got to imagine was a lot stronger back in the early 1900s. "Smells to me like you're a Jew. Would that be right?" So, a little uncomfortable. A little uncomfortable to be in that situation. But here we see a helmet that maybe even Aquaman would be proud to wear. It's not really explained. A little interesting tidbit, but
something kind of similar.
Yeah. What could that be about? So let's see. So he locks up he's going to show our lead character around town, and what do they see here? A swastika. Now you got this coupled with the reference to his ancestry, and then you've got this, and Alan Moore is going for something that I don't think he's the only person that came up with this idea, but I don't think there's the most evidence for it that Lovecraft kind of foretold the Holocaust, which I don't really see it too much in Lovecraft's writing. But anyway, then again, of course, Providence is a, work of fiction, and to kind of, imply that Lovecraft's fiction was sort of influenced by the Holocaust, even though the Holocaust would not happen for another 20 years or whatever. It's an interesting, dimension to add to the Cthulhu mythos. So here we have a woman who also kind of has the Innsmouth. Oh, she definitely has the Innsmouth look. See, she's got her eyes really spread apart wide like that. And we're going back underground again. If you recall from our earlier episodes, bad stuff happens underground. Here they have some weird kind of pornographic graffiti on the wall, probably drawn by Deep Ones a long time ago. It's supposed to be ancient. And see, very curious underground dock. And our character, Robert Black, he's smart. He remembers nothing good happens when you go underground. Let's get out of here. And next thing you know, he's back up on street level. He got out of there. He didn't want anything bad to happen. And so basically, that's pretty much his adventures in the town. Now he decides to go to bed and proceeds to have a pornographic nightmare. So I'm not quite ready to bring our show to that. So I'm just going to skip over the nightmare, but it does have Holocaust stuff in it. And again, it's interesting stuff because, of course, this is like the 1920s, and World War II has not happened yet, but yet it's somehow presence leaking in from the future. Weird. But so, and he also sees his former companion, who, if you recall, committed suicide in the first issue.
Yes.
And so the next morning, it's a really scary, bizarre, weird, and like I said, pornographic nightmare, because Alan Moore, of course. So
Yes.
yeah. So here he's having breakfast the next morning after this very unsettling nightmare. And then you see our waitress has kind of fish lips, got the Innsmouth look, and he's waiting for his bus. He's done everything he's done in Innsmouth. Like I said, doesn't really interact with the deep ones too much. Here's the bus driver, hardcore amphibian, of course. They're driving out of town. He's getting ready to go, no doubt, have another Lovecraftian experience. And someone says, look, Mama, there's the big swim. Everyone's out there swimming. Of course, I think just about everyone reading this story knows what's going on. This guy was just in a town full of amphibian people. There's something, a big group of things swimming out to an island, and everyone's looking at him. Sure, howdy, all you Sunkens, howdy, which is a clever name, the Sunkens, kind of like what Lovecraft calls the deep ones. And so as they're looking at this event, our main character, Robert Black, goes, excuse me, are those seals? And everyone in the bus turns and looks at him. And yeah, seals, sure. They're seals, all right. Everyone reading this knows what they really are, and that's it. So he doesn't have that much of a Lovecraftian adventure in this issue. It's mainly he's got the bizarre nightmare, and kind of I don't have maybe Alan Moore was going for kind of a thing that the deep ones, the amphibian residents of this city, I forget what it's called, and in Lovecraft, of course it's called Innsmouth, that they are kind of treated by society the way Jews were treated in Nazi Germany. I'm not sure if that's what he's going for, but yeah, the main part of the story is the Holocaust sort of nightmare thing, and not a lot of stuff to do with amphibian people. But so that's why I kind of consider it a bottle issue of Providence.
That's kind of cool.
It's well worth reading. It's interesting, and and it's just chapter 3 of 12. Even if it does not give you too much of a insight into Shadow over Innsmouth, we're going on, and we're going on to deeper into Lovecraft country, into the next issue. So I think that's all I got for today. How about you?
I think that's what.
All right, yeah, your audio is still a little shaky, so I think we've gone long enough. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Make sure you subscribe, because we got more episodes coming up. I think we're going to have a great Doctor Who episode early next week, so hope to see you then in YouTube land. All right, and hopefully the Philadelphia area internet signal will be a little bit stronger.
Might be me too, or South Jersey. Yeah.
So, all right. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you,
great talking to you as always, and have a good night or day wherever you are. Bye, everyone.
Take care, everybody.
See you, Jim.
Take care. Bye.